Hey guys.
Okay, so we were going to do this Tuesday and then we were going to do this Wednesday. And then we decided let's freaking wait because I don't know about you, but everything in the world is falling apart.
I thought there would be more updates, but I guess there's too much legal
Um
stuff going on.
there's a lot of rumors and the rumors are juicy and I love it. Like I really love it.
But it's all happening like we knew it would.
It is.
We didn't think Punk would be the catalyst in all this, but
I mean, no, we did not think CM Punk would be the guy to do this, but here
mm-mm.
we are. And here we are. Yeah. So let's talk about that first since I feel like that's going to be
Focal
the
point.
guts, the meat and potatoes of this. Okay. So MJF is back. I guess we could bring that up.
And
MJF's
nobody
back.
cares.
Whitney cares. And she's very excited and she wants to find a knockoff Burberry scarf to wear to WrestleMania weekend. So, um, guys, MJF, you have somebody who cares.
Good
Me,
for
on the
you.
other hand, okay, not to put our good friend on blast, but like she bought the pay-per-view, which I was like, girl,
Oh
bought it.
no.
She used a VPN though, because there's a loophole. If you have a VPN, you don't have to pay as much. There's a loophole. Anyway, she bought it because her number two is MJF, which I really don't understand at all. But anyway, so we're watching it, and like Twitter is going crazy.
Hold on. You watched it?
No, she's watching it and telling me what happened.
Okay.
No, I was watching like Sister Wives because I was like, I have to catch up. The new season starts tonight of Sister Wives, so I was watching Sister Wives. No, I did not watch it, but she's sending me screen grabs of it, and she goes, "Who do you think it is?" And I was like, "Well, it's MJF." Oh, but according to Twitter, it was Wyndham. First of all, have you people not seen the man? Because that was not. No, you need your eyes checked if that's who you thought it was. But anyway, she texts me and goes, "Oh my God, look at that ass. It's him. It's MJF." And I was like, I mean, he does have some cakes. I'll give her that.
I don't look at his ass. I have no interest.
You know what? I've never looked at it. Now I'm like, he's got some cakes. There's some. Is he smuggling hams in those trunks?
Good for him. Not interested. No, thank you.
Not interested, but I never looked and I'm like, man, he's smuggling some hams in there. Anyway, so he's back and then nobody talked about it because CM Punk decided, and mind you, we find out now that this was like something he has planned for a long time. Like he knew who was going to be at that media scrum and he fucking knew that he was like, yeah, this is it. This is the time.
I'm going to show my true self.
I'm going to do it. I've lulled everybody into a sense of comfort. I'm going to do it now. So he starts off, Nick from Wrestling Inc. is in the front. He goes, "Nick, do you still do improv?" And Nick was like, no, not anymore. And he goes, "Oh, well, when you did improv, who did you do improv with?" He was like, "Scott Colton, aka Colt Cabana." And he's like, "Are you friends with him?" And he's like, "No, I haven't talked to him in a long time. We're not friends. He goes, "Well, that makes two of us because I'm not friends with him either."
So Colt was not brought up to him. He brought it up.
He brought it up.
Okay. All right.
Yes. He was the one, like, no, it was so funny because they're like, that Nick guy, he really baited him with that question. I go, what question? Like, CM Punk was like, "Hey, Nick, I have a question for you." Anyway, so CM Punk goes on this rant where he talks about how Colt Cabana was his friend and they had the lawsuit from the whole trashing WWE podcast and how they're not friends anymore. And through discovery for their lawsuit, he found out that Colt Cabana shares a bank account with his mom and like, man's going off. he's going off.
He's being a little prick is what he's being. Like, Aaron, can you imagine if somebody went on TV and blasted his personal business on TV?
See, I feel bad for his, like, Colt Cabana's mom.
I feel bad for that situation. Like, what if he's helping his mom? What if they share an account so his mom has money? You don't know. Like,
yeah.
Don't try to make him sound like some mama's boy that can't take care of himself. He's such a dick. I can't stand him.
Anyway,
sorry.
So then it gets to the part where I was squealing and was like, "Oh my God, Jen needs to hear this." Because he says that the EVPs of this company can't even manage a target.
Here's the lowdown on lowering bad cholesterol from Leqvio. Lowering bad cholesterol is hard, but you could do hard. You lived through 5 fad diets, 11 sleep training nights, 9 mediocre middle school recitals, 1 heart attack. And with Leqvio, you can lower your bad cholesterol and keep it low with 2 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Prescription Leqvio and glycerin is given by a doctor for people with known heart disease on a statin with diet who need more help lowering bad cholesterol. Common side effects are injection site reaction, joint pain, urinary tract infection, diarrhea, chest cold, pain in legs or arms, and shortness of breath. Results may vary. Learn more at leqvio.com. or call 1-833-537-8462. Ask your doctor about Leqvio. That's Leqvio. Lower, longer, Leqvio.
Football fans, grab your favorite food and a cooler full of drinks. It's time to tailgate. Whether you're serving up hot dogs and hamburgers or breaking out the barbecue, feel free to kick things up a notch with Frank's Red Hot. And when you're looking to cool it down, reach for a nice cold Bud Light. The team's going all the way this year. Make sure you're there to cheer them on. And don't forget to fire it up with Frank's Red Hot and cool it down with Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
But didn't someone say that like not long ago he was like praising them or something?
Oh yeah. He
Yeah.
was like, everybody, the Young Bucks are the future. They're so great. And then he had this tweet, and even Miro was like trolling him. So we know Miro doesn't like him. But he was like, as a team, we could get so much more accomplished. And when we're separate, we are divided. And they could bring us down if we're divided. And Miro's like, is this you?
When he made that comment when Sasha and Naomi got kicked out about, oh, you should stand up for your coworkers and
oh yeah,
if
you need
wrong.
to stand up. Oh yes, and everybody's like,
even if you think they're wrong, you need to stand by your
coworker. This
coworker.
was like 2 months ago. He said that. Yeah. And he went off on Hangman Page, who wasn't even there. Like, that's the thing that gets me is Hangman wasn't even in the building.
He's mad at Hangman from when all that happened a while back. He's just been holding it in.
Oh yeah, he's just been holding it in. And the whole time, guys, he's going off. Punk is sitting there going the fuck off. And Tony Khan's just like,
There's this meme. Have you seen the meme where Tony's sitting there and then like Punk is running his mouth and it's like me while my girlfriend complains about her food to the waiter and I'm just sitting there waiting for it to be over.
Yeah, pretty much. And so anyway, Tony Khan is in a dissociative state while this is happening. He was coked out.
Yeah.
And
didn't say a word. Just kind of let it all happen. And then what did he call Hangman? A fucking idiot or a fucking
that he was like, I work with. Did he call him a fucking piece of shit? I think he did.
I thought he called him an idiot or something.
He called Hangman many things. You probably called him both. Anyway, now mind you, Hangman wasn't even there. He didn't know what was happening. Hangman was at the hotel eating a cheeseburger, probably, so he had no clue.
A steak.
He's having a steak. MJF was supposedly there and heard. He called MJF a bitch. He called him a son of a bitch, and he said he's hurt and he's tired and he works with a bunch of fucking children.
Meanwhile, he's acting like the biggest child there is. Yep.
Yeah, like nobody else is there, like doing anything.
Pitching a tantrum on TV.
Yeah, no tantrums. No tantrums at all. So then, finally, and mind you, while this is happening, guys, he's sitting there wolfing down muffins. He is just
And bleeding.
and bleeding everywhere. There's blood everywhere. There's fucking muffins. He's like licking his fingers as he's like, hey man, a fucking piece of shit. And then at the end he goes, I'm sorry, I have to do this. And then people got scared to ask questions. And then they asked the kid. They said, oh, AJ, the little 11-year-old boy who's the interviewer, do you have a question for CM Punk? And he sounds terrified. And he's just like, what was it like for your dog to be backstage?
What'd he say? Did he answer?
And he was just like, yes, Larry got out. He didn't yell at the kid, though, so I'll give him that.
That's good, yeah.
But yeah, you just hear this little voice. So what was it like to have your dog back? I'm like, are you kidding? Anyway. So then he leaves. And Swerve and Your Glory comes out, which is Swerve, Scott, and Keith Lee. They come out. And man, let me tell you, the whole Punk thing really set. Oh, going back to Punk though, you have to remember he also has a grocery bag full of lime flavored seltzer water that he's just carrying around as well. We're setting, yes, it's something. And so going back, Swerve and Your Glory come out, and like they're getting a little snippy too. They're not very snippy, but even Keith Lee, he's very well spoken. He's just like, listen, I am above social media. I don't need to know what is happening there. And again, Tony's just sitting there like, doo-doo-doo. So then somebody brings up how that, and I think this was unprofessional. Somebody brought up that Tony should have called an audible and gave the belts to the Acclaimed while Keith Lee and Swerve are sitting up there. And they get pissed by this question. And Tony's like, well, we're going to have a rematch eventually, somewhere down the line. And they're like, no, we're going to have a fucking rematch like soon. We're having it like in 2 weeks. And he's like, well, we can talk about it later. And they're like, no, we're going to have it soon. So then they're getting into it with Tony. Fucking pandemonium's happening. And then you just see security run. Like they just run into the back. And well, they're arguing with Tony. So they're arguing. Fucking security's running around. I feel like the child now is scarred for life because it is like midnight Chicago time. And he's asking about a dog. And they leave because they're pissed off. And Tony's just buying time at this point. He's like, oh yeah, we have a really special guest coming. And the whole time he's on his phone, he's like texting away furious. He's like, oh, it's a really special guest, guys. And all of a sudden Jericho shows up. And Jericho he's in his phase of, I am a peacemaker. I do not start drama. My wife did not storm the Capitol, allegedly.
Drink it in, man.
Drink it. He's not like, drink it in. He's like, drink it in, man. So Jericho comes out, and Jericho looks confused as fuck because I don't think he was supposed to be there. And he just looks very confused. So people are asking Jericho. I think they're just trying to come up with questions for Jericho at this point because like
they weren't expecting him.
They're not expecting Jericho, so they were just like, so where do you rate Bryan Danielson on your list of opponents? Yeah, they're trying to come up with questions because he wasn't supposed to be there. Well,
speaking of, don't you know Bryan Danielson wishes that he had stayed where he was?
Mox over here is like, he was supposed to go on vacation. His daughter has a rock collection, and he was supposed to go help, and now, well, that's
Don't you know? Don't you know? Some of those people are like, "Fuck, we should have just stayed where we were."
You know what's so funny? People were like, "Why would Malachi Black want to leave? Why would he ask for his release?" I was like, "Hello, hello, can you imagine working there?"
Oh my god.
Anyway, so Jericho just wastes some fucking time talking about nothing. And he was the part that got me is he's like, somebody asked about the how the talent is leaking information to the dirt sheets, and Jericho's like, oh, hold on, guys, I really am disappointed that the talent would release information about our meeting. And yes, I spoke at the meeting. And Vince McMahon would never let this happen.
Oh, in front of Tony Khan.
Right in front of Tony Khan. Who's like, his eyes are like the size of quarters. And he's like, yeah. So then, thanks to the magicians of Twitter, they raised the volume from when Jericho was leaving, and you can hear Jericho go, "Yeah, some shit's going down back there." And then Tony Storm shows up, and the drama does not stop because Tony Storm's like, "Yeah, Thunder Rosa says she's hurt, but I don't know." And Tony's like, still just eyes wide, just like not a word. So now that the inmates are running the asylum, like now, by this point, everybody was just like, are we gonna see MJF? Like, what are we doing? Well, after that, Tony got up there himself because he's like, you know what, guys?
It can't get worse.
There's no more guests because all of my guests are fist fighting in the locker room right now. So I'm gonna talk to you myself. Here I am. And somebody asked a question about, hey, last time you guys were the only one running the weekend, and now you had NXT and Clash of the Castle. What changes did you make? Oh, that set him off. Because according to Tony, he has been nothing but polite, guys. And he has been very nice and very cordial and very friendly. And they've treated him like shit.
They never talk about WWE.
Never. They never have. Nobody broke a throne. What are you talking about? Nobody lied about a cease and desist to get themselves over. No, that never happened. Oh, yes. And he went off. He goes, I am going to be like Jim Crockett, except I have more money than Jim Crockett and I will fight. I'm not letting this motherfucking shit go down.
This is my weekend.
This is my weekend. And then all of a sudden the legal team was like, Tony, wrap it up. He's like, it was very nice talking to all of you. And by that point I was just like, okay. And so Tony leaves and we're just like, that was weird. That's the weirdest thing that could happen. Oh no, we were wrong. So while the coke-filled shenanigans is going down, okay, it depends on whose side of the story you believe here, because according to CM Punk, the Bucks kicked the door down.
With Kenny.
With Kenny did not, though. Kenny did not.
But he was with them.
He was with them, but he did not kick the door down, which I was like, okay, first of all, I do not buy them kicking the door down.
Well, they can kick, that's about all they can do.
You know what I said when I heard it? Did they slap their thigh when they did it? Anyway,
did they film it for being the Elite? Because
they didn't. They didn't.
They should have.
Whitney checked. They didn't. They should have. But anyway, so apparently Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson, who has a bleach spot in his beard
Oh
now,
God.
kicked the door down while CM Punk was sitting in there very quietly and not
Eating his
doing
muffins.
anything. Eating the rest of his muffins
With
and
Larry.
drinking with the dog and his friend's wife with a broken leg while he's drinking seltzers and being very quiet because he didn't do anything, guys. And they came in and started screaming at him, and he felt threatened, so he punched Matt Jackson in the face.
Which, I mean, good for him.
Okay.
You know you're not disappointed in that.
I'm not disappointed, but I am not buying the series of these events.
No, I'm not. But I mean, any chance where
No.
Matt Jackson gets punched in the face.
I just love how CM Punk was like, I didn't do anything. I was sitting there eating a muffin, and these guys broke down my door. So then, if you're listening to the CM Punk version of events, then Ace still ran in because his wife with a broken leg could not defend herself. And when Nick got close, he threw a chair and knocked Nick out. And then Kenny tried to grab the dog, and Ace was like, no, you're not grabbing the dog. And he bit him and pulled his hair.
Oh God. I wish someone could have. In the age of cell phones, you can't tell me there wasn't somebody that could have filmed that shit.
So then we got the other point of view. The other point of view is apparently the Bucks and Kenny showed up and they knocked on the door. They knocked on that door, which I'm like, okay, yeah. And Punk came out screaming at him. And he was screaming and yelling. And they were like, hey, we need to back it down. And Matt was like, listen, you can't talk to us like that. And then Punk punched him in the face. And then Ace, who was still in the room, threw a chair for no reason. And Kenny tried to grab the dog because he felt terrible for the dog's well-being and it was having a hard time. And he got bit, not by the dog, but by Ace Steel. I'm not buying either one of these at all. I feel like they were screaming at each other.
Absolutely.
And
I feel like Punk would have opened the door. I don't believe Punk would have just sat there. I feel like he would have opened the door, and they would have just immediately just started bitching at each other.
But apparently, according to Punk, he told them to come in and they kicked the door down.
Yeah. I don't see that. I see him being at the door. So
there's two witnesses who are supposedly impartial third parties. The first one is the second in command of AEW who runs the legal department. And the other one is MJF. Who was probably going to Punk's locker room to punch him in the face. Also in this fight, because the Bucks did not come alone, guys. Oh no, they did not just bring Kenny. They brought Brandon Cutler, of course, their childhood best friend, and Christopher Daniels, the scumbag of them all.
Yep. But they didn't do anything.
Apparently. They weren't there to jump them, like CM Punk has said.
Then why did they get suspended?
Because we don't know who's telling the truth. Because obviously the legal lady's like, listen, I don't buy either one of these stories whatsoever. Just like us, we're like, listen, both of these do not sound right.
They're both liars and assholes. So
yeah, they're both liars and assholes. So now, also, guys, apparently Punk is bringing up that he's injured now. He has torn
he had surgery. Yeah,
he tore a muscle in his shoulder, and he said, he's gonna be gone for 6 to 9 months, so they can't fire him. He's out with an injury. So there's that. Whatever that means. But the Bucks are pissed, by the way. The Bucks are angry. And they have now decided, you know what? Maybe we don't hate the WWE so much. And they are now asking their friends at the company to get them a job.
The Bucks?
Yes, that is the rumor that they've.
That can't be true. They're EVPs of another company.
Yeah, that's what the head Cody was too.
Well, I know, but
Also, they may not be EVPs anymore after this. So that's the current rumor and innuendo. Is they're like, listen, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. I think we should just go to the WWE.
oh my god.
You can't make this shit up. But you
Nope.
know what? I believe it because that's some shit they would do. They'd be like, this place sucks. We need to go somewhere else. And you know what the best part of the whole thing is? New Japan would never hire him back.
Yeah.
And they killed Ring of Honor, so they can't go back to Ring of Honor.
Oh my god.
I about cried tears of joy when this happened. I was crying just tears of joy because you can't make this shit up.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, oh no, we could kill Ring of Honor because we won't ever leave AEW, and then they killed Ring of Honor, and now they can't go back. I will say this: I'm not one to say I told you guys so, but we told you guys so.
Mm-hmm.
And this is happening way quicker than we thought. We had 5 years. This is only 3 years in. I mean, who would want to work there now? Anyway, so Dynamite on Wednesday. Of course, MJF comes out. And MJF, everybody said, oh, after this whole fight thing, MJF's the face. He's a total face. And everybody's gonna
He's
love
all they got, really.
He is. And Mox, you could tell Mox is really pissed off right now, too. So you got a pissed off Mox. You got MJF, who came out, was like, hi, guys, I love everything. And then he's like, ha, no, I don't. I fucking hate all of you. And Tony's a fucking mark. And the best part is he said, I hope Tony gives me the belt. Because, the bidding war of 2024 is going to get even better if I have the belt. He's like, I'll just take the belt to WWE. He said his best friend, the American roller coaster, Cody Rhodes, is there to meet, is going to greet him when he gets there.
Did he really?
Yeah. And his favorite wrestler of all time and his hero, Triple H, said it's what's best for business. And he wants to work for one Khan, and it is Nick Khan, not Tony Khan. So MJF is like, I'm only here because they paid me. I think Daniel Bryan's about to just go run into the woods and never come back. Mox looks genuinely pissed because he was supposed to be on vacation. And now he has to deal with this shit. And Malachi Black is gone. He's gone. And Chris Jericho is still out here saying, listen, guys, Vince McMahon would never let this happen. He'd never.
That's great.
I'm like, oh, and then you have Hangman, who's just like, I'm just gonna stay out of it.
I don't know. He'll end up saying something.
Oh no, right now Hangman's just like, just gonna shut up. Just gonna shut up. Just yeah, be quiet, So yeah, somewhere in this world, Wyndham and Johnny Gargano are like, thank God we waited. So there's that.
Poor Adam Cole.
But Bobby Fish is gone.
Hell, Bobby Fish is talking too.
And Bobby Fish is talking shit, and he called CM Punk the C word. So, just out here doing hot girl shit. He's just doing hot girl shit. But yes, that's currently what we know. I have a
Oh,
feeling.
and they suspended everyone.
Oh yeah, everybody
except Punk.
Well, because Punk's hurt.
Right.
Punk probably would have been fired if he wasn't hurt. And Colt Cabana somehow is still doing Colt Cabana shit. Whatever Colt Cabana does, which Colt Cabana is the reason that all of this, we did not call that. That was something we did not see coming. That Colt Cabana would be the downfall.
I mean, at least they stripped her by their titles too. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like Jericho's gonna get that belt now?
It'll be a WWE guy for sure.
Duh. Who else are you gonna give it to? Eddie
Who knows?
Kingston? Because that would be a
Paige?
good story.
I don't know.
Oh no, not him. Sammy Guevara beat him in the tournament, so
Ugh.
that's not happening. But yeah, guys, who else are you gonna give it to? You can't make this shit up.
What a mess. What a mess.
Well, let me just tell you. It's pretty fucking hilarious. And I, for one, am here for it. I am. I'm here for it. This is great. This is wonderful. Who wouldn't be here for this? Wrestling. Gotta love it. Also, can I just say Tony Khan's Coke-filled rampages are like better than their pay-per-views? And they're free. So, there's that.
Hey, it's me, your Uncle Cooper. Sorry to interrupt your music. I do love music, especially when it's set at a reasonable volume. You know, music is really only as good as your speakers. The same is true for minivans. A minivan is only as good as the tires it sits on. And the button on the screen there, it agrees with me. If you click on it, it'll bring you to all the Cooper minivan tires that'll make your minivan a really good minivan. Go with the Coopers! Cooper!
Waiting for this light to turn green. I'm headed to work for a boss so mean. I'm gonna be late. She's gonna be...
There are some things we should do alone, like sing in your car.
If this light doesn't turn, I'm gonna scream.
But when you gamble, you should always do it with others, because gambling with friends helps keep things in check. So go to keepitfunohio.com for more tips like this. Keep it fun, keep it social, but your singing? Maybe keep that to yourself.
So obviously that wasn't the only thing that happened over the weekend.
Most
Like,
exciting thing.
It was the most exciting thing for sure. But you know, it wasn't the weirdest. Well, okay, it was tied for one of the weirdest things, we'll say. So Clash at the Castle. Let's talk about the weird shit first, because other than the weird shit, everything was actually pretty good. I wasn't mad about it. So Roman is still champion.
Ugh.
Still. And now the rumor is he ain't losing it until next year. So
It is disappointing.
it's very disappointing. I feel like Seth needs to take it off of him at Survivor Series. 10 years of the Shield, have Seth take that belt. Come on, it writes itself. Anyway,
It won't.
I know. But so Roman won thanks to his other cousin, which, you know, he's got 87,000 cousins. His cousin Solo Sequoia showed up, and he's like there, and he looks like the Usos because it's his brother, the Usos brother, and Drew got distracted. And yeah, if it were me, I would have had Cross cost Drew, but hey, go off, I guess.
It wasn't bad.
But
The whole thing.
afterwards,
Yeah.
so Tyson Fury gets up and he shakes Roman's hand, and so I'm like, oh, he's gonna attack Drew because like Drew just made a mockery of their homeland. Oh no. That'd make way too much sense. He gets up and helps Drew up, and he's like, Drew, there's only one thing we can do right now. And he starts singing. And the crowd is genuinely confused. Like at first I was like, is this like a British thing that like I don't, like it doesn't translate very well. Oh no, they were just as confused as we were. And then all of a sudden they start singing again.
Which apparently was unplanned.
That's how the pay-per-view went off. Was
I mean, they were having a good time. They were.
Okay. Sure, I guess. So yeah, it was very weird. Very weird. But again, the rest of the pay-per-view was pretty good. So Gunther and Sheamus was 5 stars according to Meltzer.
Mm-hmm.
If you take stock in that, but it was actually the best match of the whole show.
That was good.
It was very good. Liv is improving so much.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing so well. She, you know what? She was very believable against Shayna, but now she has to face Ronda for a third time. Here we go.
I don't have good feelings about that.
I don't either. They're gonna Kofi her, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
We also had Rollins versus Riddle. Can we just talk about, I don't think we talked about Seth talking about Riddle's wife or ex-wife and kids. And getting Riddle to say fuck on national television.
And meet him in the parking lot.
Mind you, I feel like we're Seth. Like we would say something like that and then just be like, come find me. And just
You
like walk off.
would do that.
I would. Oh, I would. I live for chaos.
I'm
guys.
still Team Riddle. I like Riddle.
I totally would though. I'd be like, hey Riddle, remember when you texted your girlfriend who, was on OnlyFans and said that you want to do you wanted to do a line of cocaine off your dick? Yeah, I remember that.
I mean,
That's probably why your wife divorced you. Probably why you don't have custody of your kids. I'm just saying. Usually, when men say they want, to do ecstasy and have a chick do a line of cocaine off their massive dick,
but
they don't
she
get
could have
custody.
been, to be fair though, she could have been doing something too. You never know.
Oh no, he talked about cocaine way too much to not be doing it.
No, I mean his wife.
Oh yeah, she's psycho.
Yes, she could have been fucking somebody too. So.
Well, I was gonna say she's a fucking psycho. So yeah. I mean, I think they both are. Anyway, I'm Team Seth on this one because it's about time somebody told Riddle that, he's a piece of shit. So,
I like Riddle, sorry.
he's a piece of shit. Anyway, the match though, I was like, okay, why didn't we just have Seth really kick his ass? Because he brought up Becky and then he brought up their kid.
He brought up his kids.
There's
You can't, you can't be hypocritical with that.
That's
No,
a
there's
baby.
not. It doesn't matter. It's children.
The other kids are old enough to
It's
know.
someone's children. That baby doesn't know he's talking about her.
Them kids.
That baby didn't know he's talking
Hey, you know
about
what?
her.
You know what I gotta say? Fuck them kids.
No, you can't be hypocritical with that. You can't talk about anybody's. Either you can talk about anybody's kids or you can't talk about anybody's kids. You can't pick and choose whose kids.
Well, I'd have a lot to say about Riddle's kids, but that'd be considered hurtful, apparently.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, because apparently, she's very much Team Riddle with his massive dick.
Like Seth, I haven't liked Seth in a long time. You know that.
I like his jackets.
Ah.
He's a fashion icon. And he dressed like Satan. So,
That's true. He did.
He did dress like Satan.
Like a gay Satan.
He was a gay Satan. And you know what? A gay Satan is like right up
him
there.
and Trinity.
It is. Like, come on. Right up there. You know what? Second he walked out, I was like, he's winning. He's gonna win. He's winning this. Look at him. You know what? If he didn't win the match, he would win best dress because look at that outfit. If he was on Drag Race, he'd be lip syncing for his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there you go. He was a
He
gay
should go on
Satan.
Celebrity Drag Race.
He should.
I wish a wrestler would go on Celebrity Drag Race.
You know who should go on Celebrity Drag Race? Okay, I have two. One, Effie.
Right.
Effie should go on Celebrity Drag Race. Also, Corey Graves, because Corey Graves watches Drag Race.
It's true.
It does.
Oh, and didn't somebody else, was it Drew that said he watched it? Somebody else said they watched it.
Drew, I think Drew and Finn.
There you go. Drew, I would recognize immediately.
Well, yeah, look at him. Finn, maybe not.
Maybe not, yeah.
You know, Drew, you would totally recognize though. I'd be like, I know that 6'8" man from anywhere. I'd be like, oh, that's Drew. It's like when MJF walked out, everybody's like, look at that walk, it's MJF. That's also Dominic finally grew a pair and kicked Edge right in the balls. And so hard that his shoe flew off.
Well, it's because he's crushing on Rhea.
I'm gonna laugh if he's like, Rhea, we're together, right? And she's like, wait, what gave you that idea? She's like, wait, what? Anyway, so he kicked him so hard his shoe fell off, and then he clotheslined his dad. Which, you know, it's about goddamn time. That is the most interesting that kid's ever been.
And then he came back the next night channeling his real dad.
He came back.
Or Monday night channeling his real dad.
His Guerrero genes have kicked in. And he now is himself. He has realized the error of his ways. Like, oh my God. You know what? He went home and he was like, Mom, do you have the DNA test? And she's like, excuse me. And he's like, no, really, I need you to tell me. And it said, your dad's Eddie.
He's like,
That's
this explains
everything.
everything. Yeah.
Explains everything. You know, the kid just needed to lie, cheat, and steal a little bit. And boom. There it is. But yeah, so he came out and he has a makeover. They gave him a makeover. And let me tell you, Dominic, you look not like you're 12 anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
You look a little closer to your age, which, by the way, Dominic is 6 months younger than Rhea. How the fuck is that a thing? Yeah. Anyway,
well, Rhea hits the gym. I think Dominic needs. I'm seriously think Dominic needs to start going to the gym. I really do.
I think Dominic just needs to maybe develop a plant-based diet.
He needs to bulk up just a little bit.
Yeah, some protein shakes in the morning.
Yeah. Look who he's with. He's got Finn and Rhea there. They can't.
I mean, okay. Granted. Next to Finn and Rhea, we would look terrible.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying if I'm working with them every day and working out,
and I'll tell you,
wouldn't you take advantage?
We've had a week.
I'm just saying.
Some time. We've only had a week.
I would take advantage of it.
We've had a week of this. But you also, I mean, look at Damian Priest by himself. Damian Priest, I'm like, yeah, he's not a bad looking guy. Next to those two, I'm like, he looks like a fucking potato. I'm sorry, but like, if the three of them are standing there, I'm cropping Damian Priest out of the picture. Like, Rhea's the only woman that I would ever do anything to, and I am perfectly straight. Like, but
so
if Rhea was
you
like,
had to pick any woman in the world, it would be her.
probably.
Oh.
It's big dick energy. Big dick energy. Yeah. And plus, I feel like it's an easy transition. You know, it's not like it's not like Liv Morgan where you'd be like, wow, I'm with a woman. Rhea, I think you'd kind of forget. You'd just be like, at the end, you'd be like, well, shit.
I'm very sexually confused.
I'm very sexually confused right now. Like, it's an easy transition. Okay. I'm just saying.
I see it. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, plus she's like, I'm Poppy. So then, okay. Okay.
You can work with that.
We can work with this. This is, and then obviously Finn Balor would watch. So then you'd be like, well, shit. Finn Balor's here too. you'd have no word in edgewise.
It's true.
Before you knew it, all three would be in bed. You'd be like, I don't know what happened, but like, I'm not mad. There's worse things I've done. I've done worse. Hey, you would say the same thing. I've done worse.
That's true. True.
I've done worse.
Hmm.
That right there. And they'd probably make you breakfast.
Finn would probably make the breakfast.
Finn would make you breakfast and Rhea'd go for round 2. Where is the issues here? I feel like I'm not seeing the issue. And this seems nice.
Sounds like a smut fan fiction waiting to happen.
It does. Anyway, yeah. So Dominic, I don't know if you've realized what is happening around you, but you're in the right direction. Again, it's been a week. Maybe he has started, but it takes a couple months to kind of see results. So we're gonna give it time. We're gonna give it time. Those Guerrero genes have to kick in, They've only had a little bit of time. God. Anyway. So yes, Dominic is Dominic. And he's going against Edge next week.
Oh boy.
Also, can we see Rhea just kick Ray's ass? Like, how far are we going to take this? You know what? Here's what I would say. Rhea, you need to marry Dominic. Here's why. Here's why. Not because you love him. You need to marry him because that way you're related to the Mysterios. And you just fucking torture them every time. Every holiday, you're just like, hi, I'm here. And they have to live with you and their family forever. It's like decades of torture. And that I live for.
It's true.
It's true. It's beautiful. Come on.
I just feel like he couldn't quite satisfy her though, so
Well,
not even close.
who
Probably.
said he was doing anything? She's the one in charge. No offense, but there'd probably be some pegging going on.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. So yeah, I mean, you don't know. Maybe there's like like in what we do in the shadows. There's men, there's women, there's everything going on. There's men on men, women on women. There's just everything happening. So who knows? Maybe Dominic's into like orgies or something.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't pretend to know. Also, can we just say Wyndham still did not show up. And I was so sure this time.
Oh no.
But what was funny? Halfway through, I was like, the tingle's gone. Like, well, there's that. All right. So then Raw happened. And Braun is back.
Ugh. Who cares?
I don't know.
And apparently Control Your
why.
Narrative is on hold.
Well, no,
That's what EC3 said. He's like, we might revisit this or something like that. I can't remember what he said, but
everybody left.
I can't remember how he worded it. Might be revisited in the future.
And the
or something.
talent you had there wasn't promoting it. Like Bill Carr. Bill Carr was on Control Your Narrative, but he never talked about Control Your Narrative. He's like, well, I'm there. I didn't even know it until some guy was watching it to make fun of it. I was like, hey, look, it's Bill Carr. I mean Bill Carr. Look. And Vincent's on there and he didn't say anything about it. People were embarrassed to even talk. Plus, you had Austin Aries out there doing a whole other interview saying that, like, the only person who came in there said that they just didn't like his COVID feelings. They didn't like it. So I don't think that's how that happened, but okay. Sure, Austin Aries, whatever you say. But yes, Braun's back and sure. I mean, I know what I want to come of it, but I don't think it's gonna happen, but hey, whatever. Kevin Owens came out and cut the promo that needed to be cut because I feel like if we're talking like this universe, Kevin Owens is the only one who actually watches the show because his promo alluded to the fact that he is the only one who actually watches this show. And he was like, oh, now a ref's gonna run down, and the ref came down, and it was great. We love Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
And he beat Austin Theory because, yay. Johnny Gargano is having his first match in 9 months tomorrow. That's exciting. And Dexter kidnapped the Miz again. So we'll get to the bottom of it. But speaking of Dexter, can we just have Indy and Dexter back together already?
I know, right?
Like, he didn't end up going to prison, so I feel like we need to have Indy be like, Dexter, you're back. Also, Kevin Owens, going back to him, he cut this promo on Sami Zayn, and I was like, oh my god, because he was telling Sami, this is not what you are, Sami. You were my best friend. Also, I feel like Sami is about to get kicked out of the bloodline. Yeah. I feel like Jimmy Uso can't even keep him in there now. But I feel like Kevin will pick him up and they will steal those belts back. Because Cammy is forever, damn it. It's forever. Going back to NXT Worlds Collide, Braun Breaker beat Tyler Bates. Surprise, surprise.
Ugh.
No surprise. Mandy is the women's champion. Sure. Actually, you know what? That was the best match Mandy has had. That was an all right match. She's improving. I'll give her that. And Ricochet versus Carmelo Hayes was just the best match of the whole show. So there you go. In other news, Mox versus Gage is coming up. Title versus career. We love that.
Mm-hmm.
Also in GCW news, Effie's big gay brunch happened, and it looked even better than what I thought it would be. And they had mimosas and quiches, and it was a good time. And Effie had on he had a pink ski mask. Oh, just wait, there's more. And then he had his leather jacket, and obviously his daddy trunks and all that. But under the jacket, he had on a pink robe. The kind of robe you wear when you kill your husband and the police show up, and he just comes out, and it's long. There's a train. I'm like, oh my god.
With a ski mask?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I was like, my god, look at him. It's, the man, if anything, the man loves pageantry and brunch. The two things that we love as well.
It's true.
That's
and
true.
Pink.
And pink. And it had like fur. It had the fucking feathers. I'm like, oh. He murdered his husband, and the cops are coming. They're coming. And nobody will ever know. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just, it's a look.
It sounds like it.
And Effie's gonna be on a Netflix show as well. Doing voice work. So yes, Effie's taking over the world. They went to Lady Gaga in Atlanta, which we didn't get to go to Lady Gaga in Atlanta.
I know.
Next time we're going. And Brody King was there too in Atlanta at the Lady Gaga show. So, not mad about it or anything, but we have to go next time, guys. We have to go see Gaga.
Be fun.
We have to go.
How much are those tickets though?
They weren't that bad.
Oh, okay.
I think the general admission area was like $150.
Oh, okay.
They weren't that bad because Effie and Allie went twice. They went to the one in New Jersey, and then they went to the one in Atlanta. I was like,
oh,
yeah, they were like $150, I think. And I was like, fuck, that's not that bad. We could have gone.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Yeah. Also, Jason Aldean. This is totally not wrestling news. Jason Aldean's gonna headline the golf tournament concert thing here
Oh, really?
in February. Yes.
Interesting.
I figured I'd throw that in because, but we'll be saving our money. So no. I wouldn't want to go, but I know somebody who would, and I'm looking right at her.
Yeah.
But yes, we'll be saving our money because we're going to LA in like a month after it happens. So actually, no, it'd be almost 2 months because it's Super Bowl weekend. So 2 months. But yes, that's happening. So far we still don't have WrestleMania tickets. Probably won't ever get them.
It's crazy.
Especially if The Rock shows up. We're fucked. Anyway, we're gonna get drunk somewhere and watch it. It'll be a good time. WrestleCon's still a go, so there's that. At this point, it doesn't look like Wyndham will be showing up, so I might be able to see him at WrestleCon again.
There you go.
Well, we're definitely gonna try to find Jay White, though. We have to have Whitney meet Jay White. That'll be me doing all the talking.
Yep, it will.
That man, though, oh my God. Even I'm not intimidated, and I was intimidated. And I had to do it alone, y'all.
Not the first time.
Not the first time, but the second time. And he looked even better the second time. Like the first time I was like, oh man. The second time I was like, and then the next day I had to meet Wyndham twice. And Mox. And then we saw Mox again. Anyway, so that all is going on. Speaking of Wyndham, though, apparently if he doesn't show up in WWE, Freddie Prinze Jr. is starting a startup, which I've heard rumors of for a while. And apparently he's offered Wyndham a shit ton of money. To do what, I don't know. But that has happened as well. So who knows? The world is his oyster. And also his team is losing right now by 11 points in the third quarter. So fuck the Raiders. But yeah, that's happening. So yeah, I don't know. But guys, there's so much shit going on in wrestling. I feel like I have to keep like a running note on my phone.
Oh my gosh.
And be like, okay, all this shit happened. Because every day it's something new.
There's drama.
There's drama. The girls are fighting. I'm just going to be interested to see, like, how this all turns out. Could you imagine if they show up in the WWE?
They won't.
If it happened, though. Oh my God, it'd be so funny. I would laugh so fucking hard because you know what? All those people who hated the Young Bucks would be like, oh, I love them. They're the best tag team ever. And then all the people who love the Young Bucks now would be like, they're terrible. And all the people with the Young Bucks tattoos would be like, why did I do this?
Gosh.
Yeah.
I hope they don't.
I hope they do just to see everything melt down. Because again, I love chaos.
I don't want them to feel like, oh, we got to get here. I don't even want them to feel like, oh, we got to get to WWE. No. I want to get the door slammed in their face.
Also, I just think it's funny that all Elite Wrestling wouldn't even have the Elite. Figure that out. That's hilarious.
True.
Just all wrestling. So I'm assuming Tony Khan doesn't own the trademark to that.
Probably not.
So they're just all wrestling?
All wrestling.
All wrestling. That sounds stupid, but yes. All wrestling. AW. You could call it A&W, but I feel like there's a trademark from the root beer company.
Yeah, they'd probably sue him.
Please.
Real quick.
Do it. Do it. I would love to see it. Also, can we just talk about how like everybody's like Tony knows how to manage people. He owns a football team. He owns a soccer team. He knows. Okay, his football team sucks. It's the
his wrestling company sucks. Oh,
it's the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars. fuck? Like, it's the fucking Jaguars. Are you kidding me? They're like the worst team ever. I love how MJF was like, the Bills are the worst team ever. And I'm like, listen, MJF, I agreed with you on most of the shit you said, but I do have to say this. The Jacksonville Jaguars are the worst team ever. Get it right. They'd cut his mic if he said that, though, probably. Tony would be like,
yeah. Guess where he draws the line.
That's where he draws the line, guys. He'd be like, he'd pull his face up from his mountain of cocaine and go, what did he say? Cut his mic. You can't say that. I'm Tony Khan. So, yeah. What a week and a half-ish. Ish. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Like, you know what the craziest shit to me is? Remember when Cody Rhodes returning was the biggest story of the year?
Mm-hmm. But now it makes even more of a story because it's like, why did he really leave? Like, what all went down to cause this domino effect? Like, interesting.
He saw the writing on the wall and was like, listen, I'm not going to get bit by Ace Steel, so I'm going to go now. Like, who the fuck bites somebody? Like,
and pulls his hair.
And pulls his hair. Like,
it's like you're in high school.
Jesus. The girls are fighting, literally.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you couldn't, it just like slapped him. Like, your first instinct was, I'm gonna pull that hair.
But your first instinct was you thought he was gonna hurt the dog. I mean, come on.
Well, depending on who's
I'm just saying, regardless, it's because he had the dog, right? So it's like,
again, it's depending on whose story you're buying, because according to the Bucks, he did it within nothing happened. You know, he was trying to get the dog and calm the dog down, and according to Ace Steel, he was a threat to his injured wife and dog.
Yeah, so, I don't think he was trying to hurt that dog. Sorry. I don't believe that.
But then it just makes it funnier where you just see like Matt running his mouth and Nick and Kenny just standing there, and then he's getting punched in the face
hit with a chair,
and then the chair just flies across the room and hits Nick, and then Kenny's like, oh my god, I have to go save this dog. Like, that's your first thought, is like, this dog needs me.
I mean, to be fair, that would have been my first thought too.
You're like, not the dog.
No, seriously, that would have been my first thought too. I could have cared less about the lady with the broken leg or the Bucks. I'd be like, I need to get the dog.
Less about the chair leg going into Nick's eyeball, but the dog is.
That's what I care about.
But it just makes it funnier because Kenny's like, oh no, the dog. Like, what? Seriously, like what? Like, after you just saw Nick get hit in the head with a fucking chair, you're like, this dog needs me. This dog needs me right now. Fuck my friends, this dog. You know what? Maybe that's why the Bucks are leaving. They're like, our friend just said, fuck my friends. I'm just gonna go take care of this dog.
Maybe.
They're like, these fucking assholes, we're done. We're done. And the fact that the impartial third party is MJF, who I feel like is not an impartial third party.
That's true.
MJF's just like, listen, I hate everybody here. I'm leaving in 2024. They're like, and that's why you're impartial, because you hate everybody. God, could you please tell me there's security footage of this fight that somehow
I
gets
hope
leaked?
so.
Oh my god. I would laugh so hard because you can only imagine, like, seeing CM Punk's MMA career, you know that punch wasn't anything.
Right.
And then you know that, like, Nick Jackson probably sold it like he got hit by a car. And then all of a sudden you just see a chair fly and hit Nick Jackson right in the eyeball with that bleach spot in his beard.
I thought Matt had the bleach spot.
No, Nick does not.
Oh, Nick.
They
They both
they
do.
They do. They have a bleach
Okay.
spot in their beard because I don't know. I don't even fucking know. And they're overly tanned and wearing earrings. So like
Mm.
I don't fucking know. And then Kenny's just chasing a dog. And then getting bit, not by the dog. That is the only fight I've ever heard of where you get bit by a person, not an animal.
Hmm.
So,
Mm-mm.
dear God. Anyway, guys. Hopefully this next week is not as dramatic.
I mean, I kind of hope it does if it's more of that.
If it's
stuff
more,
comes
I mean,
out.
this drama is great. But you know what
Mhm.
else is funny? The fact that like they were banking on this drama to get them ratings. Like they were banking on it. And like by the middle of the show, they lost like 190,000 viewers after MJF left. So, some things never change.
Nope.
No. Anyway, guys, Raw's tomorrow. I don't watch NXT anymore, but Smackdown is Friday. So we'll see. I'm starting to think we're gonna probably hold off on a lot of these. We're bringing people back things for a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
So I could be wrong.
But they are making changes though. Like Riddle got his name back.
Yeah.
His full name.
Yeah.
What's his face? Theory got his name back. I'm hoping that Piper gets her name.
Ciampa got his full name back.
Yeah.
Even though we still call him Ciampa.
I hope Piper's next. I hate that.
I
dude
hope
drops
so.
shit.
It seems like they're headed that way, but apparently Seth Rollins loves that song, so he wants her to keep the song. So anyway, we'll see what happens, ladies and gents. But we have next month we have Extreme Rules and then Crown Jewel and then Survivor Series in quick succession.
That's quick.
It is quick. So until next time when we bid you with our presence. Bye.
Hi.
Hey, it's me, your Uncle Cooper. Sorry to interrupt your music. I do love music, especially when it's set at a reasonable volume. You know, music is really only as good as your speakers. The same is true for minivans. A minivan is only as good as the tires it sits on. And the button on the screen there, it agrees with me. If you click on it, it'll bring you to all the Cooper minivan tires that'll make your minivan a really good minivan. Go with the Coopers! Cooper!
Waiting for this light to turn green. I'm headed to work for a boss so mean. I'm gonna be late. She's gonna be.
There are some things we should do alone, like sing in your car.
If this light doesn't turn, I'm gonna scream.
But when you gamble, you should always do it with others, because gambling with friends helps keep things in check. So go to keepitfunohio.com for more tips like this. Keep it fun, keep it social, but your singing?
Yeah.
Maybe keep that to yourself.